Here we are again, as promised, as we try to make up for lost time. We are outside again. It's another beautiful day. I hope you can't really hear too much the sound of the neighboring air conditioners, but this just comes with the territory. Today we are in Tuscany. This is a wine made by Montervertine, which is one of the real premium, iconic properties in Tuscany. This is an entry-level wine, Pian del Ciampolo. It's a blend of 90% Sangiovese, 5% Colorino, and 5% Canaiolo. So it's very typical of a Chianti blend, although they refuse to use the Chianti appellation, the Chianti label, because back when they started in the 60s and the 70s, you had to include white grapes in up to 10%, I think, in the blend, and they refused to do that. So they stepped out of the appellation from a naming point of view, even after Chianti 15 years ago actually outlawed the use of white grapes. But still, these guys, the Manetti family, sort of are beating their own drum, and they're staying with their own wine. They have the recognition. They don't need to be part of a bigger sort of appellation, and they stuck with their basically IGT Toscana labeling. They make three wines. This is the entry level. There's a Montevertine, which is sort of also a similar blend, but aged 24 months as opposed to 12 months in Slavonian barrels. And there's really the premium iconic wine, Le Pergole Torte, which is 100% Sangiovese, single vineyard, really aged in barrels and then in barriques afterwards. It's just got its own sort of premium treatment. The property is very focused on traditional methods. The grapes are hand-picked. They've all fermented in concrete barrels without any concrete tanks, without any temperature control. They're not filtered, and they're bottled just using gravity. There's no pumping or mechanical, help, so to speak. This is the entry level, as we said, so it would be equivalent to something in between a Chianti Classico or a Reserva. It's 2019, so very young. It was a great vintage, but still, this is very approachable because some of these wines are made to be really enjoyed at this level. This is a high elevation property comparatively. It's in Rada, which is one of the most picturesque towns in Tuscany, about 450 meter elevation. These guys don't make a lot of wine. They don't have a lot of land, so they're harder to find sometimes, even the more affordable ones. But they're very sought after. This is and what turned me on to this, is I did get a present as a present, a Pergole Torte a long time ago, and I just loved it. So I started really getting interested in the property, and I guess this is how you start sometimes. Looking at the color, it's very light cherry-like, so it's typical from what you would expect. A little bit lighter, but it could be the age. Just perfectly, really in keeping with the Sangiovese and the Tuscan sort of sun. On the nose, again, you get that light cherry, a little bit of the candied, acidic and sweet candy that you get from the Sangiovese and the Chianti. It's just a little bit floral, so it's just very perfumed, a little bit like sort of a white flower, really sort of tendency. In the palate, you got the acidity, so this is really great with any tomato-based dish because of the acidity. And we had some homemade pizza earlier in the week with the wine, and it was a really terrific match. But it also has a little bit of that sweetness that you get that mix, when you're thinking about cherry. On the finish, it's sort of a little bit more enveloping, so to speak. You get the acidity, but you get some little bit of a wrapper around it that really keeps it very smooth. A little bit of the white flour, as I said earlier, that stays in the mouth. Just a very interesting, fresh, lively, young wine. I know it's an entry-level thing, but it is, again, it's not cheap. We're talking mid-30s to $40. So everything with these guys is a little bit higher quality, a little bit higher price, even though you could probably find a very, very good Chianti Classico or Reserva for under that price. But that's what you'd be comparing it to. And you have the name and the methods and the traditional approach to winemaking that is something really, that you need to look forward to as well. Anyway, a very good wine, recommended. We'll see you guys soon.